Okay, what's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Sorry for the technicals. Got the chat back in here. Okay. I don't know what was going on, y'all. So again, I apologize. YouTube be playing games with me, so again, I apologize for that, y'all. For staying in and showing major love. Thank y'all. I appreciate that. Um, yeah. Again, I appreciate that, y'all. For real. I'm just making sure everything is good to go and aligned. Let me know if y'all see me really well. Shout out, I switched over to TikTok. So again, I'm cross-platforming TikTok and YouTube. I think it was the cross-platforming that kind of got everything a little, a little messed up. So again, appreciate y'all for tuning back in. Thank y'all. Again, y'all, don't forget to hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Shout out to my dog Cece, Hazel back in the building. Appreciate Hazel. Paul in the building, still up. Rowan Jack, we back, double feature. You already know how we do. We got a part two. Sometimes we got to do a part two of the podcast. Shout out to John in the building. They unalived that poor white lady in Minnesota. I heard about that. People have been having some really strong reactions regarding that, both good and bad. Shout out to Chaz in the building. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. If someone was masked up wearing riot gear and was trying to detain you, would you let them? Uh, Shout out to Rowan Jack at John, who is they. Shout out to the TikTok as well. Again, if this is your first time tuning in, tapping in, I am Ashley Lovechild. This is the Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. We had a little technical difficulty with YouTube. So again, I'm glad we clarified and fixed that all up. And again, don't forget to hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. We on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 12. So again, all that love helps with the growth of the show. Shout out to Biz. Okay, goodbye, Biz. Again, if your statement was redacted, it was either YouTube or the mods. My mods don't play about me. If you say something reckless, they will put you in timeout or they will get you up out of here. So show love. Have the ability to show love. All right, y'all. Let's get this thing back where we had it again. We was at send them the turkey or nah, with the Uno creator. He confirms that we've been playing the game wrong the whole time. He came out and said you cannot officially stack a draw two onto a draw two. Many of y'all sent him the turkey, and right before we went there, the whole thing went haywire. So I'm agreeing with y'all in the chat somewhat. No, actually, I'm not. I can't send them the turkey. Y'all can send them the turkey. The whole chat send them the turkey. I can't. The rules are the rules, yo. We've been playing like Uno is the only game where I see people damn near come to blows, and it's wrong either way you line it up. Like Uno is like we come with our rules to Uno when there's an actual rule book to Uno, but everybody plays Uno differently. And even with the creators coming out and saying, "Yo, that's not how you play," we still go send them the turkey just cause. Like just cause we are playing it the way we've been wanting to play, and we just gonna send them the turkey just cause. Like, yo, only in our culture that we do that. Just people that in American culture, we don't care about none of that, baby. Like, yo, our rules is our rules. So I'm not gonna send the creator of Uno to Turkey based on that. The rules are the rules. And he's saying you can't throw a draw two onto a draw two. Uh, Biz the bum. draw two to Turkey. Shout out to Roe and Jack. CC, we took the game and changed the rules. Jokes on it. Shout out to Paul. This did someone reverse him? Yes. Can you imagine? Can y'all imagine, chat, playing against the creator of Uno? And we do what we feel like we do in the culture, right? We're gonna throw the draw two on top of the draw two. We're gonna throw all the draw fours on top of the draw fours. We're gonna find a way to throw a draw two onto a draw four, knowing you can't do none of that. Can't do none of that. And the creator like, yo, you can't do that, yo. We're like, whoa. What you mean, B? Like, nah, joke's on you, bro. This is how we play over here. And you telling this to the creator, like, only in our culture, yo. Only in our culture. That's super funny. Same with Crazy 8. Everybody played a little different. That's a fact, Paul. That is a fact. That is a fact. I will say this. When you're playing cards, I don't care if it's, playing cards, the classic playing cards, or if it's Uno. Know the way you're supposed to play and learn the way that y'all gonna play. Like, yo, these are the rules on how we play, and everybody got to stick to it. One thing I hate about playing cards is that when everybody say, this is how we gonna play. So deuces is wild, aces is wild, and draw in Uno, we're gonna say we throwing reverses, we doing skips, we throwing draw twos on top of draw twos, we throwing draw fours on top of draw fours, but we not throwing draw twos on top of draw fours. Then cool. We're not doing the one color collection. We're not doing that. It's one card goal. And if the rules is the rules, I hate when we start playing, then they want to change the rules to how they play. No, we agreed upon these set of rules here. Now play it like how we agreed upon. Just because you taking that L, taking a belt to ass situation with the cards, that you can't change up the rules once we start playing. That's the only thing that gets me tight. Shout out to the chat, Roy Jack. That's when all draws come out. Someone get hurt. That's a fact, bro. That's what I'm saying. There's been times where people have gotten into whole fights over Uno. And then the people that get into fights be like, yo, it's not over Uno. It is over Uno because the Uno is making your emotions come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it cool. Keep it cool. We will call it American rules. Now that's a fact. Everybody got their own set of rules when it comes to Uno. So yeah, y'all funny though. Y'all gonna send the man to Turkey or send the creators to Turkey to let you like, yo, that's not how you play. Yo, like, yo, chill out, man. Hold my beer, dog. Chill out. Like, yo, only us in the culture, yo. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next. Send them to Turkey or nah. Send them to Turkey or nah. Again, type in T to send them to Turkey. Type in N not to send them to Turkey. Why you got a picture of Lorenzo Lewis? Shout out to, who's that? Reggie, appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. I don't know who Reggie Lewis is. So, I'm sorry, I don't know who Lorenzo Lewis is. So, I have pictures of my family around me. So, yeah. I think that's an easy one to answer. Why would I have pictures of my family around me? So, that is Lorenzo. Yeah, I don't know who Lorenzo Lewis is. I'm not familiar. Shout out to cross-platform in both TikTok and both YouTube. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next. Send them to Turkey or nah. Send them to Turkey or nah. Black owned. Y'all know I hate saying the word black, but black owned flight school in Metro Atlanta has pledged over $1 million to train 1,000 diverse pilots. Their motto is the sky has no colors and shouldn't have no limitations. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, a black-owned flight school. I hate that. A cultured-owned flight school in Metro Atlanta pledged $1 million to train 1,000 diverse pilots, and their motto is "The sky has no color." There shouldn't be the sky. I'm sorry, the sky has no colors. Shouldn't have limitations. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Rowan Jack, I will send you a pic of me and put you on the wall too, buddy. We fam. It, like for people, if this your first time tuning and tapping in, that's the podcast picture. I got another picture of my oldest brother and me, and I got a picture of my mom and dad off on the side. So I mean that's an easy layup for if this your first time tapping in. That's an easy one, right? So uh, shout out to Paul. She said that's beautiful. CC, I love it. Not to Turkey. So I'm seeing a lot of no Turkey. Not sending it to Turkey. Me personally, I'm not gonna send this to Turkey either. I'm not gonna send this to Turkey. In our neighborhoods, I mean, let's keep it real. Most young kids, when you ask them what do they want to be, they say what? They want to be an artist, an actor, an athlete, and those are all good things to become if you are in the work of arts. If you into the arts, everybody is not in the work of arts. Some people just want to be, an actor or an entertainer or rapper or singer. Some people do want to be an athlete. Again, all achievable things, but let's be real. Starting out in sports is great because you learn things like discipline. You learn things like teamwork, which translate in the real world. So these are not negative things to start out to want to do and want to be, but as you get older, reality hits you. So the fact that they did a pledge of $1 million to train 1,000 diverse pilots, this is going to go a long way. Not just to the pilots that they're training, but the pilots that they're training is also going to be an inspiration to somebody in their home or somebody in their neighborhoods or somebody in their community. So this takes on a different train of thought and something that's a very tangible thing to grasp. Getting the right education and going into aviator school, going into becoming a pilot. So I love this. This gives another avenue for the culture to go into. That's a realistic avenue to go into. So I love the fact that this cultured owned flight school is able to do this. Again, pledge $1 million to 1,000 diverse applicants for becoming new pilots. So again, I love this. I'm not going to send this to Turkey. The chat is not going to send this to Turkey. And again, appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping and cross-platforming on both platforms. So I'm not going to send this to Turkey. Chat is not sending this to Turkey. Ask, would you like to be a pilot too? Nah, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool with the type of energy I got. I'm not made for flying, bro. I'm just not made for that type of life. That's just not me. I'm if I'm a pilot, I breathe no confidence. I wouldn't get in the plane that I'm flying. Trust me. Trust me. If I'm flying the plane, we all need to get out immediately. Okay, so I'm cool on being a pilot. If I went into anything else, like being serious right now, if I ever went into anything else outside of music as a kid coming up, I probably would go into medicine. I probably would go into medicine if I was to have other interests outside of what I do. So yeah, I probably would have went into medicine. So we all in agreement. We're not going to send it to Turkey. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, our time to rap segment. This segment again is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's button snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. First hot topic of the night. Artist Amina Butterfly. She says that it don't sit right with her that she has to work, take the money that take majority and or half the money that she works and pay a babysitter to watch her kids. So therefore, she rather spend time with her kids and I guess find creative ways to work and not to work. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, artist Amina Butterfly says that it doesn't sit right with her that she works all week to give majority or half her paycheck to a babysitter to watch her kids. Thus more that she don't really trust people with kids either. Trust people with her kids. So she rather find other creative ways to work and not to work. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. And again, I'm cross-platforming. Shout out to my TikTok and of course, shout out to my YouTube. It's going to be a busy night right now. Trains. It's going to be a busy night for the train station. Y'all stupid. No turkey. AI will babysit her kids for. Yeah, y'all got me. I said y'all wouldn't get me tonight, but y'all got me. I ain't gonna hold you. Said AI gonna babysit her kids. Nah, but she could try and find a cheaper babysitter. Y'all funny in the chat. Y'all funny in the chat. Shout out to the chat, man. Y'all funny in the chat. Y'all funny in the chat. Me personally, when I look at this, shout out to Ebony. She not right with God. Y'all funny. Y'all funny. She not right with God. Sorry about that. Put this on here. Yeah. Yeah. They say she not right with God. Again, so artist Amina Butterfly, if you just tuned to tap in, artist Amina Butterfly says that it doesn't sit right with her that she has to pay majority or half her check to pay a babysitter to watch her kids, even though she doesn't trust many babysitters to watch her kids. So she's trying to find, or rather find, creative ways to work or not to work. So that way she doesn't have to pay babysitters. So what I have to say about this, because y'all funny in the chat, shout out to Rowan Jack for his super chat. Send her this for the Somalia Learning Center. Rowan Jack, man. Come on, man. Just shout out to Rowan Jack for the super chat. I appreciate that. Again, one of our big badge holders, one of our biggest contributors of the show. He just contributed some memberships tonight as well. So shout out to Rowan Jack, man. He said send her this for the Somalia Learning Center. CC is cracking up. So I will say this. This is a form of mental health that is just, it's unsavory. It's unsavory. And I know y'all cracking up in the chat, but I gotta keep it real. One is kind of low-key disrespectful to all the mothers who've been out here, not just now, but for generations, who worked, entrusted someone to babysit their children, pay them, and still found a way to pay the rest of the bills. In 2026, that is not a hard concept to understand. I know babysitting is expensive. I know sending a kid to day camp is expensive. Overnight camp is expensive. To say that you kind of don't want to work or try to find a creative way to work without basically paying the babysitters because you have children that's of age that needs babysitting. It's kind of asinine. How many other mothers already do that and already understand the concept that when they work, they already subtract that money out the money that they work in. Paying the money for the babysitter if you're working, whether your mom or dad, should not make or break your paycheck. So if that's the case, then yeah, you need to find a creative way to work, because at the end of the day, you're not the only person or only woman and only parent, because this is for man and woman. You're not the only parent that had to really learn people to trust them with your children, with the most precious things on this planet to you. You're not the only person. So get in line. And if you don't want to do that, or respect due, one, don't put it on the internet. Two, then don't work. Don't work. Put all that pressure on the people that, or on the person that you had your kids with. Is that fair to him? It's not, because he didn't make them children by themselves. So at the end of the day, now he has to work extra harder because you don't feel comfortable enough to letting somebody watch your children. What? Find somebody to watch your children that don't like kids for real. They're watching kids good, and they don't want to watch your kids past the time they're supposed to, because it's a job. It's a job. But in or be all regarding this, do the due diligence. You're not the only person that ever had to do this. You're not the first mother in history that had this conundrum. You have to learn people to entrust them with your children. Guess what? You don't trust them? Hey, you're not going to be watching my kid. I got to find somebody else to watch my children. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? And the fact that you're worried that the babysitting fees is going to make or break your check, then like, what type of skills do you really have? I mean, and I don't say that like in a disrespectful way, but like for real, like what type of skills that you have that would allow you to work, and when you pay the babysitter, it eats up all your check? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So, do I feel bad? No. No. You're not the first mother in history. You're not the first parent in history that had to do this. You have another person that had you have a partner that you had the children with. Y'all come up with a game plan. You have a family. I'm pretty sure you still have your sister. You still have your family around you to give you the type of support that you need. It takes a village, and you have to trust your village. You're not the only person in history that had to worry about who your children is around. What? Like, what type of kids are your children are supposed to be if you're the only person that's been around them and has experienced them? What? Come on now. Make this make sense. This is a form of mental health, and you got to get it together. Like, if I'm the father of your child or children, it's the mindset. It's the mindset that's strikingly alarming. With that mindset, yo, give me the kids. Give me the kids. I'm going to show you that I can work and trust our kids to someone while I go work, and I won't complain about anything. I won't complain about my paycheck. I won't complain about how to take care of the children. I'm not going to complain about any of that. Give them to the father. So simple. So I don't feel bad. She's making these statements, makes her sound ridiculous, and with all due respect, like, come on, man. Like, we got to be better than this. And if you don't want criticism, do not put this on the internet. Do not make posts and don't think that people are going to say something. What's he talking about? Shout out to Grasshopper in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Who says black doesn't bite? Uh, who says bark doesn't bite? Shout out to Grasshopper. Shout out to Malu. We got Malu in the building. One of our badge holders and one of our mods in the building. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. Hi, Ashley. You is back. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love, Malu. Love when you're in here. Appreciate the love. Rowan Jack, Malu, hey Ro also. So y'all showing love. Yeah, some I love seeing all of my principal people in the chat, man. I really do. I love it. I love it. Make sure again y'all hit them hearts, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Cross-platforming on both TikTok and YouTube. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. High school basketball coach is fired after posing as a student athlete in a game, meaning that this coach put on a uniform and went in the damn game. Alicia Boykins is no longer employed with the school, and both teams that played that high school game have forfeited the rest of the season, said by the Portsmouth School District in Virginia. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, this is easily one of the most idiotic things I've ever heard. Like, as a coach, you're supposed to be a pillar of stability, teaching young people about adversity, learning how to deal with wins and deal with losses, and also how discipline correlates with real life off and on the court or on the field. Why would a coach disguise themselves as a player to go do what? To go do what? If your team is losing and you're an assistant coach, you put the uniform on to go on the game to do what? Now, if you bring the team back, you score 30 points, you do all the things to do for the team to win. In high school sports, that do matter. Somebody's going to keep a record of that. Somebody's going to pay attention. So what do it do? How does it teach the young ladies of that team about adversity and learning how to deal with losses or learning how to play out of a tough spot? What lesson was there to learn by the coach putting on a uniform and disguising herself as a player to play? This is one of the most idiotic things ever. She should never be allowed to coach ever again. Ever again. Like, that makes absolutely no sense. Why would somebody do that? I really wonder when people do things like this, like, what really be going through their mind? What's the end game? Y'all know I'm famous for that question, might I add. What's the end game when you do this? What is the end game? In the chat, shout out to the chat. The chat saying send him to Turkeys. Send him to play for Turkey. It's actually a woman. There's a woman coach that did this. Send her to play in Turkey. It's fair. He got fired. Well, she got fired. It's fair that she got fired. Fat Joe, the best rapper. Shout out to Muhammad. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. Y'all laughing at Rowan. She must be crazy. It's just discovered a little late. It's good that she's fired. She won't be working with kids or young adults. Facts. She shouldn't be working with She shouldn't be working with nothing with basketball, anything with the word basketball in it. I don't want her to talk about nothing revolving the sport. Matter of fact, get her away from all sports. She should learn how to coach. Damn, I would say the math team, but if she know math, she probably doing the questions for the answering the questions for the kids. She need to do uh 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 she need to join like a church service or something. You know, have her enthusiasm work with God or something. Anything with kids, anything that has to do with the children having to figure it out because you're obviously not the leadership or have the leadership to give young people to believe in themselves. Ain't no way. I like what was really going through her mind when she like, you know what? I'm gonna put a jersey on. I'm gonna act like I'm a kid and I'm gonna play in this game. And if there was to come back and win, then what do it do? What do it do? High school sports matter. People go on to college. People get scouted. People like, yeah, number 56. Yeah, they come to find out I was a coach. What? Yeah, nah, hell no. Y'all stupid. Shout out to T Mitchell in the chat. Go get your CDL. You stupid. Malu 100%. Or ball or ball in or ball in it. She's not mentally fit for the position. Yeah, she's not mentally fit for a lot of positions. She's not mentally fit for a lot of positions. Yeah. So I'm glad that she was fired. I'm glad she's no longer employed with the school, and it's unfortunate that both high schools have basically concluded their season based on this matter. I don't think that should be the case. I think this is a one incident type of thing that this happened, and even though the school should be held accountable by getting rid of this person, the kids shouldn't have to suffer regarding this, and lose out on being able to be scouted or just having activities to keep them out of trouble. Like there's nothing wrong with that. So it's unfortunate that these teams is being affected by that. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Statement. No allegiance, no money. No allegiance, no money. And this is being said by many and universally alumni and donors to top tier football programs. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. No allegiance, no money. And this is again being said by donors and alumni that contributes to the football teams across the country. Let me know what they think about. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out. I was about to shout them out. Appreciate that. Y'all see, it's quite a few of my mods in here. Quite a few of the mods in here. They won't let y'all play with me. That's what I love about my peoples, man. They won't let y'all play with me. Now, if I was doing a modding, I might let y'all get a couple off. You feel what I'm saying? Because I don't know. I just let y'all do. You know what I'm saying? But my mods don't be playing. I got quite a few of them in here tonight. Yo, good luck, Chuck, trying to get that off. Feel me? So, shout out to my mods. Rowan Jack, America First. See, here's the thing, right? No allegiance, no money, says these donors and alumni. And the reason why they're saying this is because what do we have right now in college football? The transfer portal. And the reason why the transfer portal is so important in college football, it affects all sports. It affects basketball, baseball, and so on and so forth, right? So a lot of these kids is playing the game how it's supposed to be played. They go into the highest bidder. So their freshman year, they sign on with a team, and the school say, hey, we're going to give you $500,000 to come to the school, and this is going to be a part of your NIL package. And the kid says, okay. He goes to the school. He does his thing. There's another school that say, hey, if you transfer, We got $1 million for you. How do that sound? Transfer, right? Kid says, okay, I'll transfer. Then there's another school in his junior year say, hey, you did pretty good over there. Come over here with us. Like, we play for championships over here. We're willing to pay you $4 million. And he transfers. So because of the transferring system in college football, a lot of the donors don't like the kids jumping ship. They signed on to say, hey, we're going to pay you $1 million. We're going to pay you $500,000. And that has to come with your loyalty. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat, that the only loyalty you're going to get is for that football season. It's not, I want to say lifelong thing. It's not for the existence of their college career. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Rowan Jack, kids learning economics. Good on them. That's a fact. That's a fact. They learning the economic game, learning that money talk and BS walks. It runs the marathon, supply and demand. That's a fact. That's a fact. This only hurts the fan base. This only hurts the fan base when kids jump ship. That's all it hurts. It's the fan base. It's like, yo, what do the team look like moving from year to year? It only hurts the fan base. Now, do it hurt the school? Yes. So I shouldn't say it only hurts the fan base. And the reason why it hurts the school, because what does the school depend on? The fan base. So as a fan base, if we have a player that we're excited about, the school and the fan base buys the tickets, buys the uniforms, right? Because of the fan base that is basically, like, we come into these games. So the money that these schools are making is like, okay, y'all got the money to pay this player, the money that he's looking for. So why is he leaving? But if you're a player and you signed a deal, then you stick to that deal. So here's my thing, right? So if scholarships is 1 year removal, for those who don't know, most scholarships is 1 year renewal. That every year you have to renew the scholarships. Obviously, if they star players, it's like you're going to renew the scholarship in a heartbeat, right? So with that being said, the only thing where I mind where players transfer is you can't transfer to a rival. You could go in conference. You could go to other schools if other schools got the bag for you and you here for the bag. And especially if you're not going to play on the next level. Because there's a lot of kids that's not going to play on the next level. There's over 100, I would say there's over 120 D1 teams. That's just D1. There's another 80, if I'm not mistaken, like another 80 D2 schools, maybe 100. There's another, I would say 85 to 90 D1 double A. Not to mention D3 schools. So you have all these schools and all these players trying to go into the NFL. And they have hundreds of kids per team. It's about 80 to 100 kids per team. Not to mention practice squad players. There's only 32 teams in the NFL. There's only 52 spots available per NFL team. They will allow 53 in some aspects. Not to mention they're all practice squad guys. But those practice squad guys, it doesn't go up past, I believe, like 15 or 18, if I'm not mistaken. So these are very few spots. So obviously everybody's not going to make it to the league. So some kids is going to get to that bag. Me personally, I don't mind as long as you don't go to a rival. If you go to Michigan, you sign with Michigan, you transfer from Michigan, you could go to any other school in the world except Ohio State. Ohio State is not accepting no Michigan dude. And vice versa. You cannot go to Ohio State and then want to go to Michigan. Nah, B. Those are two schools you can't do that to. You could go from Texas to Oklahoma, Oklahoma to Texas. You could go from Auburn to Alabama, Alabama to Auburn. You could go from Florida to Florida State, Florida State to Miami. You can do that, but you can't do Michigan and Ohio State. Can't do that. No. Sorry. And in this era, it still holds to be true. So the fact that the players are opting to get their money, I'm all for it. But if you're a player, now there's a player right now, I believe it's Desmond Williams, the quarterback for Washington. He signed a deal on Friday or Thursday, a new deal for the 2026 year. He was trying to go to a whole nother team 4 days later. Bro, you can't do that. You cannot do that. Once you sign your 1 year renewal, once you sign, it's on and popping for that year. If you want to leave after that, cool. Cool. Because coaches, if they have a good season and another team wants you, you could take that job, especially if they're going to pay you more paper stacks. So the kids should be able to do the same thing. It's just the fact that it's affecting the bottom line with the school. Let's be real. And without the school, the school wouldn't be what they are without the players. But the school give it the platform. Do that make sense? So it works hand in hand together. So once a player does well, is he obligated to stay at the school? No. No. Would it be nice? Of course. Because you want to build that team, you want to build that fan base, you want to, you want to have that loyalty within the school. If that was me, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm about my loyalty. But I have to be honest. If I'm making, like, there's a player last year that literally made $525,000 as a receiver. He caught one pass last year, one pass, and they paid him $525,000. Now he's in the transfer portal. He's going to another school. If I'm that school, I would feel a type of way. I have to be honest. I have to be honest. If I'm the school and you gave me one catch and I paid you half a man, pause, 525. Yeah, not only, like, yo, bro, I'm going to walk you to the portal. Get the out of here. 525, give me one catch for the season? Yeah, nah, you got to go, bro. You got to go. I don't even care the reason why. I don't even care. You got to roll, dog. Simple and plain. So at the end of the day, I love the fact that players are in control of their destiny in college. Because when I was playing, we wasn't in control of our destiny. Like, if we transferred, we lost a eligibility year, and we couldn't, and we had to sit out 2 years if we went to another team within the same conference. Like, they had very strict rules. So that's why you've seen a lot of players, like, when I played, a little minute ago, when we first went to college, we ended up going to prep school or JUCO. But even JUCO was risky because if you played 2 years of JUCO, you lost 2 years of eligibility. So going to the next school, we had the red shirt immediately, being a red shirt junior. And that saved us another year of eligibility. Some guys were red shirt as soon as they get to college as freshmen, so it gives them them 4 years. So we had to be very tricky. And then the way they used to pay us as players, because they couldn't really pay us outright, there was certain ways that they did. I got mine a little something in the book stipend, they, what I'm saying? They make sure envelope, what I mean? You feel me? But I could tell y'all, the book stipends buy your books. And the books would be about $500 to $600. book stipends, at least my book stipends was about $5,000. It's about like 5K. So, a college student with 4,500 after you bought your books, we balling out. You know what I'm saying? That we balling out. It's not the money that they touch now when you got guys making 525, shit, 230,000, 330,000. Some guys is making 850, a million, 2 million. It's nowhere near that money. But that 4,500 back in 2006, 2007 used to hit different. I think a lot of you know what I'm saying. Only the finest of watches, you know what I'm saying? Only the finest of diamond earrings, you know what I'm saying? Allen Iverson style. Big bracelets, all diamond out, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Shout out to the chat. I missed quite a few of y'all statements in the chat. What Rowan Jack said. I missed what Rowan Jack said at the top. Rowan Jack, I think, is covered in the price off for Rowan. Malu, Rowan, and then we all know 500,000 against 4 million is nothing. Loyalty takes trust. Can't be loyal to an institution if you don't trust them. Love that. Love that. Love that. So I can't blame them for chasing the better offer. Rowan, loyalty in this kind of business can take you out of here. And the institutions don't give a F if you can't use you. That is true too. If you get hurt, all right, kid, best of luck to you. So what do you think of loyalty? Is that they will pay you under the table? Well, back in the day, they used to pay us under the table. I didn't make nowhere near some of the money that some of my friends made. Some of my friends, they got houses. They got, well, I don't say houses. They like the school, make sure they had the apartment that the school paid for or the coaches paid for. They had them a whip for the semester. They made sure they had clothes and all that. You know what I mean? Or Ash just had to depend upon the, little book stipend, a little 4,500 after the books. You know what I'm saying? It was a good time though. You know what I mean? At that time of my life, it was a good time. Fame. I miss what Fame said. They will pay you under the table. Also, okay, books. That's even worse. They could just pay the coach to pay instead. Then, well, here's the thing about college. Everybody's getting paid. The coaches is getting paid. The players is getting paid. The players not only get paid for their image and likeness, they also get paid by the school. So they're making money. I don't want to say hand over fist, but if you're a good player, they will make sure that you pay. The problem is that these players are signing these deals for the 1 year, which is fine. And they're going to chase a bigger bag, which is also fine. But when they chase a bigger bag at that school, you lose a donor. Because the donor is saying like, yo, I want this team to be good. And we just lost this good player to this school. And we didn't even get a chance to counter offer. Like, why would the player just leave? Why would the player say, well, I could just go make $1 million over here if you didn't give the school a chance to counter offer? Like, what sense do that make? Unless the kid just don't like it here and he just want to go. And then also you have guys that jump in the portal that didn't have good seasons. And they either jump in the portal because the coach is saying, hey, you got to go because you trash. Or they're jumping in the portal thinking that they're going to get a better opportunity elsewhere. But the player that was in front of them left too. So if the player that's in front of you leave, why are you leaving? That makes sense. Why are you leaving? You get first crack at this. And then the coach, like most coaches do, especially in this day and age, they reward guys who are loyal. So if you're playing for the NFL, you don't chase that bag. If you're playing for the rest of your life in college, meaning that, you know, you're not going to make it to the NFL and you need to max out on this college money, then go chase that bag. Go do that. But if you're going to play in the NFL, it's not beneficial that you're cooking at one school and you getting the development at this school and you getting the spotlight at this school. You can always renegotiate terms at the end of the year. Say, hey, coach, I want to come back next year, but I'm doing better and better. The 500,000 that I signed on for, I should at least get another 250,000 on top of that. I want to stay. Work it out, coach. Get the donor who do the donating to donate another 250 for me to stay here. And while they're doing that, you get the edge and the development that you need to play in the NFL. When in the NFL, you're going to make bigger money. And the whole purpose of playing in the NFL is to go there fast. Most guys who are going to play for the NFL go there fast, meaning like after your third year, you go into the NFL. The NFL will have you, so that way you could get to the second contract faster. Because once you get to that second contract, there's no money that you can make in college that matches a second contract in the NFL. So you could be 23, 24, making 50 to 60 million, opposing to being 23, 24, still playing college football to make $5 or $6 million, or you would have made $20 million in the time. You see what I'm saying? And you having a lot of guys staying in college football longer because they're not going to play in the NFL to make that money. So it's a game plan for everybody in college football, but it is, you know, messing up the donorship and the alumni money as well. Shout out to Malu, Rowan. Yup, you right. Ash, it's really a donation if you are looking to buy someone. Hey man, hey, I understand that, but all of it is buying you, because where's the image, the image and likeness money is coming from? It's coming from alumni, it's coming from donors, but they're forming it in the form of a business. So because of this business, they're going to mask it as image, likeness, you know, the NIL. But when you're like a solo, you know, you're a solo person, that's the donor, right? So either way, they're still paying for your services. Like, I remember I went on a recruiting visit to Penn State. And what was the most interesting thing when I was playing football, when I went to the school in itself had a store for the team's jersey. So you could go into that store and buy any player's jersey, any player. And none of that money went back to the player. And I just found that super interesting, that you could go into the store and buy any player jersey in that store and the player doesn't make any money. And I remember back in the day when AJ Green was in college, when he was in Georgia, he actually got suspended because he took one of his jerseys and I believe signed it for somebody, and it was like $300 that he made, and they suspended him for that. So we in a different day and age with this money, and I'm not mad at the players making it, but also be very strategic on how you move and groove, because if you're playing for the NFL, transferring schools will hurt you opposed to helping you. Tax deductible. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Colleges got this whole merchandise thing on lock when it comes to taxes. Trust and believe. And the only reason why they started doing that, because there was a guy, I believe, at Notre Dame. He was either at Notre Dame or Duke. And he realized, like, there was a lot of people at the game and they didn't have, like, T-shirts. Like, no school T-shirts. It was like, yo, where the school T-shirts at, bro? So he started making his own version of the T-shirts and start selling them things. And he was making 100,000 a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was getting busy. And then because of that, the schools was like, yo, we can't have independent people making the money that we should be making. So when it comes to the merchandise game, these schools got this on lock. Shout out to How To. Spell in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Taking a moment to support this stream with like and comment. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. That's super love, man. Appreciate that. I'm live myself right now. I know how much even small support helps keep things moving. I appreciate that. Absolutely. 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 It helps with the growth of the show for sure. Shout out to Sharice in the building. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. And again, y'all, don't forget to hit them likes, hit them 100s. Again, like I said, it helps with the growth of the show. And I appreciate that. Shout out to yeah, shout out to you. Shout out to my TikTok too. I'm cross-platforming on both TikTok and YouTube. So again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Question. What makes people want to go to a music show? What makes people want to go to a music show? Is it the music? Is it the experience? Or is it the popularity? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, what makes people want to go to a music show? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, is it the music? Is it the music experience from the artist? Or is it the artist's popularity? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know. Shout out to Malu, showing major love. One of our mods, one of our day ones. Shout out to Malu, man. She don't play no games, man. Appreciate you, Malu. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. The reason why I asked this question, because recently they released the top grossing tours right now. Obviously, Beyonce's at the top of the list at 407 million. Odyssey is at number 2, 403. Coldplay, 390. And I'm talking about 390 million. 390 million. Kendrick Lamar is at 358 million. Shakira is at 320 million. The Weeknd is at 306 million. Chris Brown, 298 million. Imagine Dragons, 259 million. Lady Gaga is at 208 million. And Post Malone is at 197 million. So what makes people want to go to the show? What makes people want to go to the show? Because you have people who are selling out and you have people who is not. And what I realized looking at this list, I have to be honest. Out of this top 10, I would only go to see 2 perform. I will only go see 2. Mind you, all 10 are legendary acts. All 10, you can't replace their space in music. Can't do it. Me personally, I'm only going to see 2 of these perform. Only 2. So it's not for me, it's not a popularity thing because they all popular. I honestly feel the 2 that I will go see, I'm going to get the most out of the experience in watching them perform. Obviously for different reasons when I tell y'all the 2. Musically, great music artists. Obviously, great music artists. But are they my favorite? No. I will go to somebody who is less popular on this list because of their music. Because of their music. Not because of popularity and not because of the music experience. Because of the music. I just have to be honest. So the 2 I will go to see out of everybody on this list. And honestly, I've never heard of Odyssey, but Oasis. I'm sorry, Oasis. I said Odyssey. Oasis. I've never heard of them. That doesn't mean that they're not great. Doesn't mean that they don't make great music. I just never heard of them. I've heard of them now. So now I'm going to do my research. And so, because I hate when people say, well, I've never heard of you. If you say my name, then you heard of me. So I've never heard of them prior to the list. And because they're on the list, I'm going to go deep dive into their music. So with that being said, I'm only going to see Beyonce, the Beyonce experience. Her music is really good. It's fire. Not really good. It's legendary. It's fire. but I'm going for the Beyonce experience. I want to see Beyonce on stage putting on a show, and her being a showman, her being the one of the absolute best performers we've ever had. She's one of the absolute best. She's at the table with Prince, with Michael Jackson when it comes to performing, an overall performance, story, a storyboard, I should say, dancers, pyro. Like all types of stuff going on at a Beyonce concert based on what I've seen. Message. And Chris Brown. For me, again, I like great performers. I like great performers. I'm going for the experience. I like great performers. I'm not going because he's popular. I'm not going because he has great music. He has legendary music. But again, he's not my go-to. But that doesn't refute that he's a legend. That doesn't refute that he still has great music that I still listen to. I want to see the man perform. Pause. That sounds kind of crazy. But I want to see him perform because he's one of the best to ever do it. As a performer, he's going to put on a show. If I paid $600 to go to a Chris Brown show, I know I'm going to get a show. I know bro going to be dancing. You're going to grab the girl off stage. You're going to bend her over. Man, you know what I'm saying? He's going to sing something. He's going to do his thing. He's going to perform. So me personally, out of everybody on this list that would get me to buy a ticket is Beyonce and Chris Brown. No disrespect to none of these other artists. They all legendary. They all have their fan base. And it doesn't take away from their fan base by me saying this. I'm not a hater. But again, what makes people go to the show? In the chat is saying that, what y'all said in the chat, I missed quite a few of y'all comments, so I'm going to go back up. Is the music one and then the experience? So some of y'all saying both music and experience. Exactly, Ebony, Kanye. So y'all saying y'all will go see Kanye. Some people say the experience. Sharice said both. Ghostface, y'all going to see Ghostface. Rowan, you stupid. Where did he on this list? He's popular too. Yeah, I'm not going to see no Diddy, man. I ain't going to see no Diddy. Now, if I was like 11, 12 years old, for sure I'm going to a Bad Boys concert. For sure. I'm not even going to hold you. Bad Boy music had me in a chokehold at 11, 12 years old. Biggie, The Lox, Total, 112, Mace, Carl Thomas, Puffy had his own joints rocking. And he had big music at that time too. Little Kim. I mean, like, come on. Craig Mack. I'm going to a Bad Boy concert when I was 11, 12 for sure. For sure. Yeah, obviously at that age you don't know the game, right? But for the music standpoint, yeah, I'm all day. So y'all saying music and music experience. I want to see a duet, Diddy and Ye. Rowan Jack, you stupid. I don't want to see that duet. I don't want to see that. Nah. I don't want to see that duet. Shout out to fam. I miss all the names. Rest in peace, Craig Mack. Yeah, like again, if I was 11 and 12 years old and Bad Boy was throwing a concert, I'm going to that concert. Cause Diddy was tough at the time. But you got Biggie, you got a Little Kim, you got 112 Total, Mace. Who else was on there that I didn't say that I just said prior to? The Lox, Carl Thomas. They was loaded, man. That's a hellified show. That's a hellified show. And this is what this is like 90. This is like 90. It's like 95, 96. I'm in there like swimwear. You crazy? Craig Mack, for sure. Rowan Jack, Little Bow Wow. Come on, Rowan. Come on. But again, so y'all answer that in the chat. So basically, the music experience for y'all and the music is not the popularity. So that's a question that I had to ask, because you've seen other artists who are struggling to sell out, and they're very popular. They're very popular, but they are not known for giving or having great music. But they're still popular. And I always wondered, how do that work when you're popular in the music business, in the music game, and you don't have good music? I always wondered that. And then I realized one day is that hustle is a talent. In this day and age, having popularity is not the same as being good. So you can be popular without being good. Just stay in people's face all day, every day. At some point, somebody else is going to see you and be like, yeah, I know that dude. He makes trash music. Oh, I know her. She makes trash music. If you do something that supremely stands out, as soon as somebody see you, they're going to remember you for that thing. And if you come out with a hit song after that, then they'll remember you from the hit song. Like if you remember The Baby, the first time we seen The Baby, he was wearing a pamper. Next time we seen The Baby, he had a hit song. The next time we seen the Baby, he was knocking somebody out. So then when they started correlating those things, then he became popular. Then The Baby actually makes good music. He actually makes good music. And I'm not saying actually like we should be surprised, but we're talking about being popular and not being able to sell out shows. And then you have some artists that have a great music experience, have great music, and is not popular and also not selling out shows. So if you're there for the music and the music experience, why are you not going to see the artists who are not as popular for the music and for the music experience? Do you need 300 to 500 more people to validate what you feel to go support that artist? Do you need that? Or are you comfortable being the 100th person in there, the 50th person in there, the 25th person in there, and rocking out like it was 500 people in there or 1,000 people in there? I'm just saying, these are things that I have to ask, because we see this in different avenues in the game right now, whether it's in hip hop and R&B, it's in the music business right now. You have popular artists that's canceling their tours because the venue that it holds, nobody bought tickets. Nobody bought tickets. Hey, you a big brand, you're a big artist, you're popular. You got 5 million followers on Instagram. This venue only holds 500 people and not one person bought a ticket. We have to cancel the show. How do that work? Also, which I don't know, even for popular artists, their popularity don't sell tickets. In the music business, tickets don't sell themselves. So when you hear an artist, yeah, we had the tickets up for an hour and they just sold out the whole arena. Come on, man. It doesn't happen like that. You have people who sell tickets, or people that are like, you know, you have specialists out here, people who are surgeons and things of that nature. You have surgeons, people that sell tickets, ticket companies, and they make sure that that they have their mailing list or their email list know, like, yo, this Friday, this artist is doing a tour, and you're able to buy tickets right now. If you get the ticket right now, it's going to be $20 off. You get it right now, it's going to be $20 off. And then they will count it on that first day. So when they say, yeah, we opened up box office, in the first 3 hours, all the tickets to the arena was gone. And the artists that struggle selling tickets, they don't have a company or person in charge of selling their tickets. Surprise! That's how they work. So, in itself, if you're going to support artists, whether they're popular or not, if they make great music or give you a great music experience, support it. If that's the reason why. Shout out to the chat. Again, I'm cross-platforming on both TikTok and YouTube. I missed no, fam, Faith Evans. Yeah, Faith Evans was another one that I missed. I missed Faith Evans saying on Bad Boy. She was popping at that time too. She had big hits. Um, Money. Shout out to Sharice. I listen to more underground rappers than mainstream rappers. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Again, support the people that you feel like do this shit. Don't let fame be the ongoing factor, because we live in a world now that we don't depend on gatekeepers. We don't go to 106 in Park to watch videos anymore because there's no 106 in the Park. Gatekeeper gone. We don't rely on radio to hear the hottest and most fire new artists. Radio has changed, but radio is still viable, but it's not the same. People go to Facebook. People go on their phone and just look the artists up at their various music stores. So radio doesn't break and promote new artists like they used to. Gatekeeper gone. We no longer go to the store to buy CDs. So there's no longer like the CD stores promoting the artist. Like, yeah, we got this new hot artist that y'all should know. Come to the store to get your autograph signed and take a picture. Gatekeeper gone. Now there's record stores that's still around, but people don't depend on record stores to get the new music. So again, we have the power to support all artists, whether they're popular or unpopular. If they give great music and give you a great music experience performance, support it. Support it. Because these artists right here are all great. Again, Beyonce, Oasis, Coldplay, Kendrick Lamar, Shakira, The Weeknd, Chris Brown, Imagine Dragons, Lady Gaga, Post Malone, all selling out tours, all popular, all have great music. I'm only buying tickets to 2. And that's no disrespect to the others, because it's not saying that they're great. It's saying what I'm interested in seeing. So popularity can't be the main factor. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. I've missed somebody. Malu, Fambo. They also have some crazy artists that's underappreciated 100%. Rowan Jack. I'm catching a few artists releasing their singles on X. Okay, I like that, Rowan Jack. I like that. Cause again, you can't depend on gatekeepers anymore. Sharice, Mary J. Blige. If Mary J. Blige got a tour, I'm there, man. Her music is unfair. That's why I said it before. No female artist could go in the verses with Mary J. Blige. Dead or alive. Don't argue with me. Argue with God. Listen to the music. Listen to the catalog. It's unfair. It's unfair to put anybody up against her. Reason being is because, 1, Mary J. can perform. 2, she has the type of songs that hit everybody. Her songs hit the sister girl. Her songs hit the corporate girl. Her songs hit the everyday girl. Her songs hit the homeboys. Her songs hit the corporate dude. Her songs is unfair. She got hits and had a way of redoing songs and making it her own. Mary J. she's unfair. She's a cheat code, in my opinion. And she got songs with other people, like features, that would have to go on the verses. That would be unfair. It would be unfair. That's just me personally. That's just me personally. The only 2 I'm going to see is Kendrick and Chris Brown. Like I said, the only 2 I'm going to see is Beyonce and Chris Brown. But again, it's not negating any other artist's greatness. Has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with me wanting to see them perform. So that's why I say that. Uh, Mary J. Blige, love her. She's legendary. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. I love Mary J. Blige. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. And again, shout out to YouTube and TikTok, cross-platforming on both platforms. And if it's your first time tuning and tapping in, Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. A 15-year-old student has invented an electrical generating shoe that charges your phone while you're walking. This is crazy. The invention used piezoelectricity materials instead. I'm sorry. The invention used a special material for the shoe to of the sole of the shoe to capture the energy from the walking and running. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, a 15-year-old student invented an electrical generating shoe that charges your phone while walking. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, I don't want to say this is about time, but yo, we in 2026, man. We're in 2026. I was a little kid in the 90s. Yo, we kind of behind the times, dog. Like they said by 2015, we'll be flying cars. We'll be living this crazy technological life. I'm tearing the word up because I'm on live. You know, I sound like a scholar when I'm off live. But I'm thinking I'm thinking we would have been living in a much more technical, advanced area in life than what we are right now. Mind you, we're advanced in my estimation. I'm the type of brother that would not be driving a flying car. There's people that can't drive on ground. So in the air, nah. Some people may say, well, there's more space in the air. But just like on the ground, we got a lot of space on the ground, but we got limitations. We got directions. We got to go here. We got to make the right here. We got to make it, you know what I'm saying? So I just felt like we would be more advanced technology-wise. So for the fact that this kid has built a shoe that could generate and that could charge your phone while you're walking, that's super lit to me. That felt like some Back to the Future type of thing that we should have had back in 2015. For some reason, I just felt like we should have been there ready. We in 2026. We behind enemy lines, dog. Like we behind the time right now. So I love the fact that this is being made, or he's made this, and hasn't been massively produced yet. But the fact that he's coming up with the technology to do it, or has came up with the technology to do it, is lit, and he's only 15 years old. A shout out to the chat. I need one where I get one at. I missed that last comment. It was redacted. Kids don't walk. Them shoes dead. Yeah, I'm saying though, like most kids don't even wear shoes anymore. Most kids don't wear shoes anymore. I drove past. I was going somewhere, and where I was going past the school, and most of the kids had on Crocs with their fit. They had on Crocs with their fit. I'm just super old school, man. We would have never did that back in the early 2000s. Like, nah. Crocs? Well, we didn't have Crocs back then, but Crocs is basically sandals or slippers. You know what I'm saying? Just a different version of it, right? We're not doing that. Not happening. Not happening at all, dog. So it's just funny that we in that age is space. Now, the fact that he's building this or has it built, I love it. I love it. I love it. I mean, we're so technically inclined as a society now. Most people can't go 20 minutes without their phone. Like, when was the last time you was away a solid hour from your phone without necessarily being forced. Like, meaning if you work a job, they won't allow you to bring your phone past the interest point. If you can't take your job on the job, I mean, you can't take your phone on the job. When was the last time you was away from your phone at least an hour? Most people, when they go to sleep, they had their phone next to them. I mean, the last few times I've had some company, you know what I'm saying? They had their phone next to them. I was like, yo, how many calls you gonna get while you sleeping? You know what I'm saying? Like, you tired, you ain't gonna hear it anyway. Like, I gotta wake you up to pick up your phone. You know what I'm saying? So, but you need your phone next to you. It's not like I'm gonna go look at it. I don't even do that with women. Like, fellas, don't look at your woman phone. Some guys do it. Don't do that. It's a form of weakness. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But stay on subject. I think this is fire. I think this is super dope, and I like the fact that he did this. Shout out to Malo. Our parents would whoop us 100%. Maybe that's the difference. Yeah, like, we had time limits. I remember, I ain't gonna hold you. One thing that my mother used to do that used to piss me off when I was about 14 years old, I'll be on the phone about, 10:30, 11 at night, getting my, hey, ooh, 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 She get right on the phone. Hey, time to get off this phone. Click. I'm like, yo, how you gonna interrupt my rap like that? I'm over here, you know what I'm saying? Like, putting in my best game, putting in my best work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, to really get a young lady to, you know what I'm saying, to, you know what I mean, to let her know that, you know what I'm saying, I'm thinking about you a little bit. You create a little playlist, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is how I've been feeling in my heart lately. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna play this little record. And this dedicated to you, ma. You know what I'm saying? It's dedicated to you, baby. You know what I mean? And while you playing the record, while I'm over there, I'm doing my thug dizzle. Yeah, it's time for you to get off this phone. How you gonna interrupt like this? Our parents was hella disrespectful. I'm just saying. Like, that's crazy. Like, man, I couldn't wait to leave the house. You know what I mean? So I love the fact that, that this kid has done that, though. This is actually really dope, and this will actually move things forward. Imagine how safe people would feel if you have your phone with you. I mean, people have their phone with them, but as convenient as in your boot, it's charging. You never have to worry about getting to somewhere that, hey, can I plug this in at this, that, and the third? It'll be right on the boot as you're walking. So I think this will be super convenient and super dope. Sharice, that's hot 100%. Malu, exactly 100%. Sharice, hearts. Moms wasn't playing. Yeah, it's this lady over here. I don't know if y'all can see her that good over here with the picture with my pops. But it's that lady right over there, man. It's hater. You know what I mean? Well, I wouldn't say she was a hater, but she was, you know what I'm saying? After 10:30 at night, she wasn't compliant. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I mean, yellow, exactly. I agree. Malo, I can definitely relate. Shout out to Yellow in the building. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. A big badge holder in the building. Again, if this is your first time tuning and tapping in, I am Ashley Lovechild. Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast? And again, I appreciate all the love. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Studies have shown age gap relationships over 10 years have rose 22% with satisfactory results. And the reason why it has gone up because relationships that are past 10 years, meaning that they're past being 10 years older than the partner, that it seems to be that there's shared values, lifestyle, and routines amongst that relationship. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. And again, y'all hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Cross-platforming on both platforms, TikTok and YouTube. So that's why y'all catch me looking back and forth. I'm not going crazy. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Uh, to the chat, I agree from experience. Um, as long as everyone is of age, all that matters, honestly. Your bedroom is your bedroom. Okay, okay. I agree. Okay, so the chat is actually agreeing with the these new studies. Um, I will say this: you shorten your numbers when you say to yourself, "I'm not going to date somebody before or past this point." If somebody is an adult, they're an adult. Simple and plain. Like what are we talking about? So some people, and honestly, I honestly feel the only people that really have a problem with people dating that's past 10 years is people that can't find people in their age range to date because it's taking people away from them. And let's be real, all of us as a potential dating partner for somebody, we want to maximize on our dating potential. That's why you're seeing more and more men who are 40 and over working out like they're 20 to keep the the look, the skin tight, the body right. I gotta be honest. I've been working out like crazy. All I drink is water, me personally. So if y'all seen some of my recent pictures, you know, I mean, looking like 20-some-year-old Ash. Cool. But I do that because I want to preserve my life. I want to have a long lasting life. The men 30 years ago that were 40, have y'all seen those pictures? Them dudes look like they was like 50, 60, 70. Have you seen pictures of most college men 30 years ago? Most college men 30 years ago looked like they was 30 some years old with 3 kids and a mortgage. So there's nothing wrong with taking advantage of your physical health younger, learning what foods not to eat. And me personally, I'm very picky on my foods. I don't eat certain foods because I did the research on certain foods and they not good no matter how delicious it is. But with that being said, it's all about taking care of yourself. And if you can pull somebody younger who is an adult, is on a level where you can teach and learn something from and build a life with, I see nothing wrong with that at all. Because if you say to yourself, okay, I'm not going to date this person because they're not on this level. If they have potential, you just cut a person that could have easily changed your life. You're not looking to date a whole bunch of people. You're not looking to date a million people. You're looking for the one. Everybody say they looking for the one. That could have been the one. The one that you thought was the one wasn't the one because you had a crack at them. And what happened? It didn't work. So when people are adults and you're just figuring life out, you might find somebody who may be older than you. You might find somebody that's younger than you. One of the most interesting women that I've ever met, I will be honest with y'all, I was about 23 at the time, and she was 41. When it took her to tell me that she was 41, because I didn't know she was 41. Nobody that's seen her would have thought she was 41. She looked literally like she was like 24, 25. That's how bad she was. Like her body was crazy. Face tight, all that. No wrinkles, none of that. Just looking good. She had to tell me she was 41. And she had a crush on me. I was like, oh, all right. How can I help you? Ma'am? Not naughty? Miss Naughty? But she was very interesting at the time that I met her and those things that I learned from her. Now, moving forward, I was going to go to another place with that. Moving forward, moving forward, I met somebody after her that I wanted to take her more serious. And that relationship lasted longer than it was with the older woman. But I never gave it a chance really with the older woman for sure. But there was things that I probably could have learned even more. So the point that I'm making is that you don't want to limit your dating potential based on age. If people are adults, if people are grown, people have their own home, their own apartment, their own things that they have their own life. That's an adult. They take care of themselves. They take care of their own situation. Nothing wrong with that at all, whether you're younger, whether you're older. The only people that really have a problem with it is for real is the people that have been slacking. They have a take me as I am type of mentality. Like, I'm 40 something, but take me as I am though. I love you the way you are though. Nah, I don't want to get in the bed and you not trying to be the best version of yourself. Nobody said you have to be a size 2, a size 4, a size 6 all the time. Be the best version of yourself. And that's just not only a physical thing. That's a mental thing. How you feel about yourself physically and that comes from your mind. Don't you know that some women don't keep themselves up because of kid trauma that they had as a kid? They probably went through a situation where they felt too sexy as a kid too early, meaning like they developed real early, like, the breasts and butt and stuff like that. Some girls developed super early and it was an older person that gave them the wrong attention and they need their ass beat for giving them that attention. And because of that, they felt like it was their fault. So that's like a demon that they have to fight for the rest of their life of feeling too sexy. That's a real thing. Same thing for guys. When we develop too early or too fast and we have partners who are older than us before our time. Like my first partner was a older woman, somebody that's before my time. So the point that I'm making is that as long as we all adults, like they said in the chat, as long as we are grown, there's nothing wrong with dating somebody older or younger, especially if we got shared ideas, shared views, shared lifestyles, shared routines, because we only get one life, one. And before you know it, you 23 today, you 41 tomorrow. How do I know? Because I'm 41. So again, life be lifing. And it's short as is. Short as is. So why not take advantage of it with somebody that you could possibly build your life with? Shout out to the chat. When I was 18 years old, I had a girl. She was 32. Okay. I got married at 18. My husband lied about his age. He lied about his age though, 100%. He said he was 25, but he was 37. Okay. Okay. Who else did I miss? Yellow, absolutely. Oh, y'all was laughing at me prior to. You live. You live on his. Okay, I missed that one. CC. I missed that one, CC. CC's not trolling. CC not trolling. I don't know if the mods got him or the YouTube got him, but CC don't be trolling. But yeah, you live with this life. You live this life once. 110%, man. 110%. Like, yo, we only get one shot at this. And before we get a real sense of where we want our life to go, and I ain't gonna hold you, I kind of wish we lived like Benjamin Button, like, because like so much is wasted on the youth, because when you're in your late teens, your early 20s, even your mid 20s, you make all types of the dumbest, the most foolish, the most toxic mistakes that you could ever make. And once you get some sort of like that light, when that that frontal lobe develop. You like, oh, okay, this is what I need to be doing. Oh, okay. Even as a man, like, I'm not like most guys will be like, like hyped to say, oh, they got experiences with a lot of women. That's not something I champion. I used to actually think like that in my early 20s. That was one of my things. In my early 20s, I used to think that me achieving my manhood was how many different women that I could conquer sexually. And y'all know what I mean by conquer. I mean by like, hey, nice to meet you, baby. Positive game, you know what I'm saying, and get it popping. I don't do the forceful. That's not my, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by conquering. Talking to a woman, you know what I'm saying, being, game, and you go do your thing. You know what I'm saying? And I used to measure my manhood like that. And somewhere in my mid to late 20s, I'm like, yeah, that's not how you do that. You've been achieving your manhood already. You have your own. You take care of your family. You take care of your family. You take care of yourself. Self-contained. You run businesses. Manhood, when people need you as far as your family, they can depend on you. Not just from a financial standpoint, from a mental standpoint as well, from a protection standpoint as well. That's achieving my manhood. It wasn't how many women I could sleep with. That was just, and I don't want to even blame my upbringing, but my upbringing, I grew up around a lot of dudes. So what is a lot of dudes doing? They attracting women. I was like, yeah, I can get, I fucks with you, dog. I likes that. You know what I'm saying? I like her over there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So that was a product of that, but I'm not gonna hang my hat on that. I'm not gonna let that be like my thing forever and a day, because now that I know better, I do better. You see what I'm saying? So I don't associate my manhood based on sleeping with, as many women as I can, and whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? I really thought like that growing up. I was like, damn, I see this person and that person. I ain't trying to say nobody names, but that's how I used to think. So thank God for growth. Thank God for growth. Thank God for growth. You know what I'm saying? Mental growth. Get your minds out the gutter. Shout out to the Jay Blue. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping and hit them likes, hit the 100s. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping and turning my shed into a hydroponic greenhouse. I got exotic fruits and veggies to give out. Hey man, ain't nothing like some good fruits, man. My friends. See, and it's funny within the culture, right? When you're healthy, it's not cool to be healthy. So my friends always tease me like, yo, if you go to Ash crib, you ain't gonna get a 5-course meal. He'll get you some fruits, you know what I'm saying? And some more fruits. He gonna have some fruits in his crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm bugging for eating healthy, right? So it's funny that you say that when you said the fruits. You don't need to master sex. You need to master your person. Jay Blue, okay, creatively, okay. Yeah, so at the end of the day, having a certain type of mindset and growing from that mindset and understanding what your value is. And in this dating pool, we all want to be valued, regardless of our height, size, shape, finances. We all want to be valued. So don't limit your dating pool by saying, okay, this is not good enough and that is not good enough. When you do that, you're going to have less people to potentially be able to find. So that's that. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Question. Are you a real rapper if you have writers? Again, the question is, are you a real rapper if you have writers? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to the chat. Y'all going crazy in the chat as well. Again, cross-platform on both TikTok and YouTube. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. Helps with the growth of the show. And We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 12, so continue to like, subscribe, and share. 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 All right, y'all. All right, so let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, are you a real rapper if you have writers? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. You can be a real rapper, just don't brag about being lyrically good. Ashley, advice: kiss all them frogs. Uh, Ashley, advise: kiss all them frogs. Fam, uh, f- Fanbo. I had two girls at the same time. I have the same. I have the auntie and the niece when I was 19 years old. If you're not right in your rap, to me, you're not right. You're not a real rapper. If you're not right in your rap, to me, you're not a real rapper. Shout out to Tay in the building. Nope, you are not. If you're someone writing for you, the person that nope, you're not. If someone is writing for you, person that wrote it is the rapper. Okay, okay, okay. So I'm loving y'all comments. Shout out to Tahona. I hope I said that name right. Tahona in the chat, or Tagona. I'm gonna say Ty. I'm gonna give you Ty for short. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ty in the chat. You know what I mean? Cause I know I'm chopping that up. Shout out to Paul. Absolutely, actors and actresses are still acting. If they didn't write it, if they didn't write a movie, they sure in its skill, not the writing. It shows in the skill and not the writing. Ashley, you can be skilled rapper with no lyrics on your mind, but the heavyweighters in rap is the ones that write their own lyrics. I love all y'all answers. I love all y'all answers. Again, hit them likes, hit them 100s. Again, it helps with the growth of the show. Even if you did already. I love all y'all answers. Me as a rap artist myself, I think if you don't write your own raps, you are still a rapper if you rap. Case closed. Now, if you don't write your own raps, lyrically, be cool like you be cool, bro. Don't start no beefs. Be cool like you be cool. Because they said it in the chat, like, I mean, there's a difference between actors and there's a difference between writers, there's a difference between artists and there's a difference between writers. If you're a rapper and somebody write your music, but you can write your music, but you can rap it, you're still a rapper. But that don't make you a lyricist. That don't make you an MC. That you are not. When it comes to rap lists, in my opinion, if you don't rap your own rhymes, bro, top 10? Never. Not never. Not never. Top 10? Not never. Now you can be top 100, but you on the lower tier of that, in my opinion, because when you don't write your own music, you negate your own experiences. Me personally, when you don't write your own music, you negate your own experiences, no matter how well you can pull it off. Tupac, for an example, he wrote his own raps, wrote his own music. He wrote so much music, there was one point in time when he was gone, meaning like he had passed away for about like It was like 5 or 6 years. And people questioned, like, yo, is this dude still alive? Why are we hearing this new song? He recorded this before he passed away. Yeah, he did this. He had all these songs over here because he wrote it. Now, mind you, I'm going to keep it funky with you. Everything Tupac dropped wasn't great. Some of it was ass. Yes. But Tupac easily had nuclear bombs. Tupac easily had nuclear bombs when it came to music. That's not even debatable. He had nuclear bombs, songs that you could still play today. But he had a lot of music that we heard later on, 8 years later, 10 years later. We never heard the unheard music. Some of it was good. Some of it was ass, and some of it was like, that needs a better beat. That needs better production, for sure. Now, if he didn't write his own music, he wouldn't be held in the regard that he's held. Now, I've heard other artists such as Snoop Dogg. I know Snoop Dogg wrote for himself. He wrote for other top artists, but he also had other artists wrote for him at some point. Snoop Dogg is not your average artist. He's a celebrity. He is a rapper that became famous from rapping, for showing and having the ability of being talented from rap. Dr. Dre, this verse was hard. Who wrote this? Oh, that was Snoop. He wrote the whole song. Okay. So Snoop literally has about I'll say about at least 20 albums. Do that negate him from being a rapper and a lyricist? No. Do that negate him from being a top 5 rapper of all time? No. Because there's several albums that he wrote, and I would bet anything that his biggest records is the ones that he wrote. His biggest records that he was ever a part of, outside of the first album for Dre, Chronic. Outside of that, everything else, things that he wrote for himself to create his own hit. But then you have other rappers who wrote a little bit and had help with a lot. So me personally, you could consider them a rapper. Can't consider them a lyricist. Can't consider them on any top tier list. I'm not putting them up there with nobody lyrically of real value. You're not going up there with DMX. You're not going up there with Jay. You're not going up there with Nas. You're not going up there with Sheek. You're not going up there with Jadakiss or Styles P. You're not going up there with Fab. You're not going up there with Prime Beanie Siegel. Prime Beanie Siegel. For those who know, you're not going up there with Prime Redman. You're not going up there with Prime Raekwon. Ghostface. No way, no how. You're not going up there with Prime Inspector Deck. No way, no how. You're not going up there with Prime Kool G Rap. Prime Big Daddy Kane. Prime Ludacris. Ain't no way, no how. So yes, you could be a rapper. I don't care how successful you are, but if you had help with majority of your records, you're not up on the top rappers list. You're not up there with J. Cole. That's why I take so much pride in writing my own music. And it's so funny, right? It's so funny. I don't even, when other people hear my music and when people are in the studio with me and they hear what I put to my music, they don't even like suggest, like, yo, you should say that. They don't even suggest that. That's how serious I take the craft. And for anybody that's worth a song, like even AZ, what am I, like, we got so many dope lyricists. AZ is another dope lyricist. Biggie. It's quite a few that I didn't say, and if I didn't say them, it's not because they not top tier lyricists. I just can't name every lyricist ever in the game. but y'all get the point that I'm making. So yeah, a person could be a rapper. I'm just not gonna consider them a top tier MC lyricist and be cool like you be cool. Don't start no beefs because you don't got that. You don't got that. You can't swim that deep. Get your team and be cool like you be cool. Shout out to Malu. Tupac gave soul and heart. Is the reason I missed that. Is the reason why we loved him. Most rap lyrics have no value. It's just money, guns, and bitches. Shout out to Zero in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Hit them likes, hit the 100s, man. Uh, Sharice, New York City celebrity, New York celebrity. I think they were. I think they were what you are saying is because what's that? AI and holograms did it, and the real Tupac would have did it, would have came out with a different flow, different, and the understanding would be different. Okay, love that. Fam. I keep saying fam. Mac Dre, Eminem, Scarface, Kendrick. Like again, if I don't name the rappers, doesn't mean that I just can't name every single nice rapper. I'm just going off the top of my dome of rappers who are nice and that wrote their rhymes that I can think of off the top. So, not saying that they didn't. I'm just you get my point. I just can't name every single person. Uh, All right, so yeah, so the rest of them is complimentary. So yeah, so at the end of the day, again, you can be a rapper if you don't write your own lyrics, but you're not no lyricist. You got to keep it cool. You're not in the hierarchy on these lists, in my opinion. If you're an artist and that's famous and you have a whole bunch of music and people consider you great because you have great music, but you didn't write that experience, yeah, bruh. Yeah, nah, I'm cool. Because there's a missing element of you not having that experience that's not in the music. Regardless on anything that you're talking about. If you're talking about money, talk about the money that you got. Don't talk about the money that you seen. Yeah, my cousin got this. I hate when somebody will see you with something nice and be like, hey, my cousin got that, man. You got a nice watch. Hey, my cousin got that watch, man. You got a nice car. Hey, my cousin got that same car. Bro, do you got it? Is it the same experience that you have? Put the experience that you have on pen and paper. That's what people want. People want the authenticity. So that's what makes it different for me when it comes to the top tier conversation. Shout out to Smith. Oh, Smith trying to be disrespectful. Okay. He trying to troll. Somebody gonna get you together, Smith. Somebody gonna get you together real quick. We got mods in here. Somebody gonna get you together real quick. You know what I'm saying? Weirdo. Shout out to Ease in the building. Any books, suggestion to learn deeply about how to rap? Some book found not really understandable for some non-US person like me. Oh, so we got somebody that's not from the US that wants to learn how to rap. Honestly, it's a feeling. Rap is a feeling. Rap is a feeling. Rap is a feeling. And how you get it out is how you get it out. That's what makes you unique and that's what makes you different. It's how you get it out. So your experiences and what you feel matters. And if you don't feel the music to relate it, then you shouldn't be doing it. That's not something you could really like you can learn the technicalities of what your bar count is, but the feeling is something that you can't learn. The feeling is a feeling. That's like dancing, right? You see somebody off beat, it's like, they don't hear the down part of the beat. They in cloud nine. So there's no book to rapping. It's just a feeling. So if you feel it, do your thing, man. Big fan, bro. I'm from Nepal. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you got Nepal in the building. Hit them likes. Hit them 100s. Shout out to Sharice. 80s music. 80s music was popping. 80s music was popping. But I like 80s R&B. And, of course, I love rap from the 90s and the 2000s, early 2000s. But I love I love the rap game. I love where the music business is at now because we don't depend on gatekeepers. You could look people up, and if you mess with their music, you could just bump their music. So, I love that 80s R&B though. That 80s R&B, top tier R&B right there. But my friends be mad at me. I rather listen to 80s R&B than 90s R&B. But 90s R&B is flawless though. I give y'all 90s R&B all the time to listen to. So it's flawless. But 80s R&B, you know what I'm saying? 80s R&B make me believe in love. When I feel like when I want to believe in love, I listen to 80s R&B. 90s R&B makes me want to get it popping. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what we doing tonight? You know what I'm saying? Got the baby oil. Yeah. Oh, drop the Diddy oil. I dropped the Diddy oil. Drop the take that edition. Drop the Diddy oil. Play that 90s music, Diddy oil, and the ladies love the Diddy oil. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all feel me? Take that. You know what I'm saying? Take that. Y'all laughing at me in the chat, y'all. It's for the ladies, you know what I'm saying? I don't do what Diddy do. You know what I'm saying? I don't embark what Diddy do. You know what I'm saying? It's for the ladies, you know what I'm saying? And if I did do what Diddy do, I would have no problem saying it. You know what I'm saying? We in 2026, what? 41 years old. Something I gotta hide from. I like the ladies. You know what I'm saying? I'm missing quite a few of y'all chats though. But catching inspiration is okay though. Facts. I guess somebody's in here trolling because them comments is coming up quick. So shout out to the person I was trying to comment, being a weirdo, but you know, it is what it is. Ash, bro, you funny as yo, bro. When I whip out the Diddy oil, you see what I'm saying? The ladies get the laughing. You know what I'm saying? They get the laughing. You know what I'm saying? It's a good time after that, fellas. The secret is if you could get a woman laughing, bro, you done broke the ice. She gonna mess with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's the secret. Comedy. When they see that, they be like, "You so crazy." I'm like, "Oh, word, that's funny, right?" You know what I'm saying? It takes the edge off of things. You know what I'm saying? Literally and figuratively. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Moving on to my next topic. My pick six is in. My NFL picks and college football picks is in. So it's only 2 games this week for college football. So I'll make it real quick and real sweet. Oregon versus Indiana. It's going to be a great game for the semifinals playoffs. I got Indiana winning this game. Oregon looked really good last week against Texas Tech. But Indiana, man, they just playing with that grit. They playing as a team, and they all bought in. They all believe in their coach. So I have Indiana winning this game. Next game I call Miami versus Ole Miss. Another great game. This is going to be probably the better game of the two. Both teams are outstanding. This could easily be a national championship game, just like Indiana and Oregon. This could go either way. But I have to go with Ole Miss. Y'all know I can't stand the SEC because the SEC dominance. Yeah, SEC been getting that ass whooped this year. But Ole Miss has been playing excellent football. Miami's been playing excellent football. But Ole Miss, I feel like, has a little more offensively than Miami. So I got to go with Ole Miss. So I have Indiana beating Oregon, and I have Ole Miss beating Miami. For NFL picks, again, if you're looking for a parlay or money line, I got some good picks. So for this week playoff, this is the playoff week. First game, Rams versus the Panthers. I have the Rams beating the Panthers. Panthers played terrible last week. They're going to play better. This game might come down to a field goal, but I have the Rams winning this game. Next game, I have Packers versus the Bears. Bears look solid all year long. Defense is very opportunistic. Caleb Williams have been playing better. but I think they lose. Still, I got the Packers beating the Bears. Next game I call Bills versus the Jaguars. Jaguars is playing outstanding, but the Bills have playoff experience. So I got the Bills winning this game. Next game I call 49ers versus the Eagles. This game will probably be a laugher. I don't even say be a laugher, but it depends what Eagle team pull up, but either way, Eagles is winning this game. Whether it's going to be by a blowout or whether it's going to be close, depends on who shows up for the Eagles. So I have the Eagles winning this game. Next game I call Chargers versus the Patriots. Y'all heard me say it all year. The Chargers are pretenders. They're pretenders. I got the Patriots winning this game flat out. And the next game I call Texans versus the Steelers. Steelers pulled it out last week, but it was due to a missed field goal, so they easily could have lost. So I have the Texans beating the Steelers, and the Texans been solid all year. This group have been to the playoffs before, and this is going to be the stepping stone. So I have them beating the Steelers. So I have the Rams beating the Panthers, Packers beating the Bears, Bills beating the Jaguars, Eagles beating the 49ers, Patriots beating the Chargers, and the Texans beating the Steelers. And that's my picks, my pick six for the NFL for the first week of the playoffs. Shout out to my dude Vic in the building. Big badge holder in the building. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. Fam said he has Ole Miss and Indiana. Yeah, same thing with me, bro. Same thing with me. I got Ole Miss and Indiana winning that game. The Jags, Pat. So you got the Jags winning, you got Patriots winning, you got Houston winning. You got Bears. I don't have the Bears. I don't believe in the Bears first time being in the playoffs in a while. Panthers going to play well, but I don't have the Panthers. And you got now got the 49ers too. She said Maryland. Maryland not in the playoffs? What are you talking about? Baltimore? You talking about Baltimore? Yeah, Baltimore lost last week. The Dow Boys. Yeah, the Dow Boys ain't in the playoffs. This is playoff talk. This is all playoff talk. Hey Vic, to the live. Thanks for having me. You already know Vic. One of our day ones, one of our big badge holders, man. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. I will keep the live segment. So if I keep the live, I'm gonna keep it nice and cool. And it's been the theme of the show. You don't have to defend your greatness. Again, you do not have to defend your greatness. By and large, I see people obviously in different industries, obviously sports, obviously entertainment. But it seems like the leaders or the top people in these different industries feel the need to explain their behavior or the things that they do in and outside what they do. When you're great at something, you're going to have people that's for you and against you. And that all in itself right there is all energy based. You may not just like somebody's face and you're like, yeah, I don't like them. I don't like the way they talk. So you don't support them. Okay, move on. Right? But that doesn't make me or make anybody else feel like they have to defend their greatness, defend what they do. And to make it to have more clarity, Clarissa Shields, amazing boxer. She's a phenomenon. One of the best to ever do it, for sure. For sure. She's great. Great. I see people by and large either for her or against her. For whatever reason, I don't care. I don't care. Everybody lives their life and everybody do their thing. But I've seen her on too many occasions defending herself. You don't need to defend yourself. People are going to say what they want to say, whether good or bad. And I know from her standpoint, she just want to make the record clear because, hey, I just want to make the record clear. She has the right to do that. But then it comes at a cost that people is going to still feel the way they feel. What's the point of clearing the record? Because the truth always does matter. But sometimes your truth is not always meant for you to say. Your greatness speaks louder than any and everything anything and everything. Sometimes other people defending your greatness is not enough. Just let your actions be your actions, and that defended all in itself. Muhammad Ali, for an example, again, I'm boxer to boxer. Muhammad Ali, when he was young and kicking hella out here, I gotta be careful on my curses because I'm cross-platforming. But he was kicking hella butt out here when he was a young man. If you do the research and you do the history, not only was he one of the most hated men in America based on mainstream America, but he became one of the most beloved people in America, an athlete in America that we've ever had. When he was active, moving and grooving, mainstream America could not stand him. The more he spoke, and there's nothing wrong with speaking. I'm not telling people to be a shell of themselves, but you don't have to defend your actions. There's a difference between that. When he allowed his greatness to be his greatness and what people remember him for, and for Muhammad Ali to stand up for his beliefs and his right, and when he became inactive as a boxer. It's funny how decades went on and you had other young, upcoming boxers or entertainers or athletes. And you'd be like, yeah, he's good, but he's no Muhammad Ali. See how that worked? You don't have to defend your greatness. You don't have to defend yourself because you're already great. You're already a phenomenon. And I see Clarissa Shields speaking out when you don't have to. You a phenomenon. You knock chicks out. You knock chicks out. This is not I don't glaze. I'm giving flowers due. This is all props due. She gets busy. Most of the girls that talk crazy about her online won't say that to her face. They won't say it with their chest. They will get knocked out. She's not one of these boxers neither that will say, yeah, I can't hit you because my hands is licensed. Now, she's going to fix you up. She's going to tighten you up a little bit. You're going to be cool. But you don't have to defend it. People speak out against about her and Pat Poose. Come on, man. People are always going to feel a type of way. They're always going to feel a type of way, regardless of what you say, regardless of what you do. Don't have to defend your greatness. You don't have to defend what's near and dear to you. And that's just not to Clarissa Shields. That's to any and everybody who is great at something. And when you're great at something, you always have people for you or against you. But the people that are against you is the people that really stick out to you and feel like you got to defend your actions. You don't. You don't. Just show up and kick ass. And at some point, it is what it is, because the people that's talking cannot affect your outcome. That's my Keep the Lie Alive for this episode. Shout out to the chat. Same allergy with LeBron. I missed that one. Same analogy with LeBron. Ain't gotta say you the GOAT. Let the peers say you the GOAT. I love that, CC. That's a perfect one. LeBron go around saying, yo, I'm the GOAT, I'm the GOAT, I'm the GOAT. Bruh, let the people say you the GOAT. You don't got to say that. Even though I'm partial to MJ. But your greatness is your greatness. That's something you don't have to defend. You can't dispute what LeBron James have meant to the game of basketball. Can't dispute. You notice I didn't say the NBA. I said to basketball. He's still great. Still great. So I love the fact that you brought up LeBron James. Yes, please like, subscribe, share. True facts. Remy and Papoose is in love. No, they not. Stop. Stop. That's why we have all that drama. Now they not in love. They not in love. That's over. That is over. I could tell when a man is over with a woman by the look of his eyes. It's over. It's over. He's with the person that he wants to be with. Trust me. I see. What most women don't understand in a relationship, a man is not gonna be, yeah, this is my boo. I'm gonna show the camera that man. Listen. My longest relationship ever in life, if we was on camera, you wouldn't even think we was even in a relationship. Like, yo, do he even like you, sis? Yeah, when we get off this camera, I'm gonna be all over her. Trust me, Papa's all over her. So what they see on the kid, that don't mean nothing, man. Like, you know what I mean? She's a superstar. She's a phenom. You got to give her space to be great. And all that, guys who don't do all that fakeness in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. He eating that butthole. You know what I'm saying? With glee, too. You know what I mean? Respectfully. Oh, man. So, guys, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's fake to us. It's hard to say who is the GOAT of basketball. It should be who is the GOAT for each era. The point that I'm making, regardless, basketball, football, in real life, at your company, when you're great, you're great. You don't have to defend it. You don't have to say, yo, I was great. Like, one of my favorite players as a kid, growing up, was Grant Hill. And I'm just using basketball, was Grant Hill. I have a label mate who's much younger than I am. And before I showed him the tape, I said, bro, Grant Hill was the first LeBron James. And he was like, I ain't never heard of no Grant Hill. Like, who was that? I was like, yeah, he was a 6'8", he was a 6'8" small forward, could run like a deer, super fast, had handles. He was 230. He was physical. He was scoring, rebounding, shot blocking, doing all that, assists, all that. And he was mixing the best defenders in the NBA on a nightly basis. He's like, I ain't never heard of no Grant Hill. And I put him on Grant Hill tape. He's like, he's doing this. So, I mean, whoever you think is great, you don't have to defend it. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to defend. People going to say that you're great based on what you do. Simple and plain. So you don't have to defend that. But they need to chill with their fighting. Oh, you talking about Pap and Remy Ma? They humans, man. Like, humans are gonna do what humans do. And some people fight because they still looking for motion. When people are popping and this person's not popping, they look to stay in the news. That's all celebrity. What Varnell Hill told Martin on a Varnell Hill show? That's all Hollywood talk. You know what I'm saying? That's Hollywood right there. They got a kid together. They gotta keep it cool when they have to keep it cool. That's Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? That keeps people listening to the music and feeding the narrative. Trust me, that's all Hollywood. But they need to chill. Absolutely, he's good for sure. Fanbo, you is right about that part too. CC, whenever athletes come out and have to deny themselves, I'm sorry, when they have to come out and defend themselves hard, all the public sees is straight up insecurity, no matter how you slice it. Facts. Like, again, I'm not saying that anybody should be a shell of themselves. But what I'm saying is, when you're great, you don't have to defend your actions, what you do on and off the court, or whatever sport that you play, whatever field that you're in as an actress, whatever the case may be. You don't have to defend it. you're great. And you don't have to defend your actions to nobody, because we all are living life. We all are human. We all have different situations that we do make exceptions for. We do make exceptions for. That goes for both man and woman. I've heard women say, "Oh, I don't normally date light-skinned dudes, but you different." What? Shut up. I've heard dudes say, "Yo, she not really my type for real, but yo, I'll mess with her." We all make exceptions, and that's just the surface level. I'm not even getting into the, the other things. Like some dudes will say, "Yeah, I'll never date a woman with no kids," but end up with a woman with 2 kids. You see what I'm saying? Like we all make exceptions for people that we feel that could change our life based on the connection. So you don't have to defend that to somebody else based on what something that you said prior to. Things change. It's life. It's an ongoing thing. It's life. Shit changes. I met women in high school that say I ain't giving it up until I'm married. And a whole year later, the whole basketball team done had a turn. Except for old Ash. I had to turn to somebody. But that's another story, but y'all get what I'm saying. all for the views. Kobe. Y'all saying Kobe the GOAT. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with Kobe being the Kobe. When Kobe died, I ain't gonna hold y'all. When Kobe passed away, I'll never forget this day. It was so crazy and so real. When Kobe passed away, I get a text from one of my boys and said, Kobe passed away. He didn't say Kobe Bryant, he said Kobe passed away. And I text him, I'm like, you not saying Kobe Bean Bryant, like, because Kobe my dog, you know what I'm saying? Not Kobe Bean, not Bean. And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh. And I just seen something before I left the house where he was actually with his daughter. So what made that moment so real for me, I was with my daughter when Kobe passed away. Now we're on our way to the NFL Pro Bowl. So we're trying to have we're having a good time at the NFL Pro Bowl. Me and my daughter. My daughter is like 16 at the time. My daughter's going to be 23 this year. But anyway, my daughter's 16 at the time. And we at the game, and it comes on the Jumbotron. Kobe Bryant passed away, and his daughter Gia. Broke my heart, but it was so real that they passed away in their moment, and me and my daughter's living life in this moment. And it just gave me, I was already appreciating the time that I'm having with my daughter at the Pro Bowl. We having a good time, and it's just like, it made me appreciate it even more at that moment. I'll never forget that day. So that's why I brought up that story, because you said you had mentioned Kobe, and they just humans like the rest of us. That's a fact. That's a fact. People crash out. People crash out. Now, some of these celebrities, it doesn't benefit from them crashing out, but people crash out. How many celebrities we seen the run up in their person's house, or like, I ain't trying to mention names, but I gotta mention the name, Erica Mena. Like, we seen her all, like, homegirl took a whole step ladder to run up the little thing on the side of Safari new crib. You know what I'm saying? She knocking on the door, and she like, oh, he don't want to open up the door. Got like a tree branch and ran up that thing like a squirrel and was knocking on the back door like, yo, let me in, cuz. Like people crash out. Like, people are humans. They have human moments. And it's caught on tape. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it happens like that. People are human. People are human. Man, I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. Y'all been absolutely amazing. Please hit them likes. Please hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. I'm on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Well, we are on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 12. So continue to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that all notification bell. I pop up throughout the week. Also, tap into the membership portion. We got quite a few badge holders in the building. Different memberships do get granted different access, so take advantage of those badges. And I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. I'm on every Sunday and every Wednesday. Every Sunday and every Wednesday at 10:30. YouTube, and then I do cross platform, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I take turns cross platforming. Also, be on the lookout for some new music. We have the OUV Records new app coming out, so you'll be getting all exclusive new music from me and all the artists directly through the app because of the new updates with Spotify and Apple. They don't treat us right as artists, and we giving y'all a better listening experience on top of that. Also, to thank the sponsors of the show, Button Snaps and OUV Records. Again, get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure for $4.99. Again, at buttonsnaps.com. That's button-snaps.com. I feel like I'm missing one last thing. Y'all absolutely been amazing. I appreciate y'all. Put Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast playlist. Subscribe to it. Also, as well, got over 600 rewatchable videos of this podcast on there right now. So make sure y'all tune in, tap in to that as well. Leave comments. I've been seeing y'all in the comments too. More people that's from the live. Y'all going back to watch those videos and been in those comments. So I see them. And I show love to those comments as well. So again, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I say that genuinely straight from the heart. Y'all have no idea how passionate I am about podcasting. So again, thank y'all. Again, lastly, do not be a stain. Have the ability to stand out for being positive. Don't have the ability for being negative. Spread love, energy, and light in this world. Don't be an agent of chaos. The only op we recognize is opportunity. We celebrate life culture. Hate has a location. It's just not here. So if you want it in your life, you got to embody that shit in your life. It starts in the mind. Starts in the mind. The chat, y'all been super amazing. Shout out to my mods. Y'all been holding it down. Rowan Jack, Malu. Who else was one of the mods? I feel like I'm forgetting another mod, but shout out to y'all. Shout out to the super chats. Shout out to the shout out to the gifted, the members gifted in the chat as well. Again, y'all just super duper amazing. And again, thank y'all for tuning back in to the new clip, because the first half of the show, YouTube be doing me dirty sometimes. So, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But they can't hold us down, baby. You feel me? So, again, shout out to y'all. Don't forget to share it with a friend. Y'all already know it's all love. And I'll see y'all this Sunday at 10:30. I'm out.